Joining us now is a Young Voices contributor and an economics student at the University of Alabama. It's Brayden Myers. Hey, Brayden, good morning. Welcome in.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
So, I saw this and I thought, okay, I want to know what's going on here. America's new state capitalism. The government now is buying Intel and Lithium MP Materials, company that, gets all the goodies out of our land. But this is kind of a growing pattern here, and the U.S. government no longer, kind of a detached regular. It's becoming a major stockholder in some major companies like this to move, I guess, us into a different direction. And I'm not sure it's all good here. What's going on?
Yes, that's a concern of mine, too. So let me tell you, I've spent a lot of time in northern Nevada, and recently a major lithium mine in northern Nevada has also had a share bought up by the Department of Energy, and that is just one piece in a growing group of businesses we are seeing the government take stakes in. They have a golden share now in U.S. Steel, a 9.9% stake in Intel, and have revenue share agreements with NVIDIA and other chip companies based on their sales to China. So all around, especially from this Republican government, what we are seeing is a growing trend towards state ownership of businesses and the socialist policies that we've previously only seen on the American left.
Yeah, to me, this sounds like worlds colliding and not in a good way. And for the government to be involved in capitalism and companies that are doing this, doesn't it really, create conflicts of interest and decisions being made, gobs of money patting each other's hands and moving direction away from, I guess, the consumer's control and free market. It's just weird to me that we're allowing this to take place. Is this current Congress, or how was this all developed and started?
Yes, absolutely. So Washington having a share in our businesses is by no means anything new. They played huge roles in loans and grants for the Transcontinental Railroad, bailouts of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the TVA power plants. But these have all been examples of infrastructure development or responses to some sort of disaster. Never before have we seen the government taking a stake in what should be competitive businesses that we need to fight and to win on the world stage.
Right.
And the most interesting part, I think, you talk about the conflict of interest, is that the reason that the U.S. government is taking shares in these companies in the first place is because they're often losing competitions, right? U.S. Steel was being bought out by a Japanese company, and Intel, obviously, because of its diversity in the manufacturing and development of these chips, also is not hugely competitive with a company like NVIDIA. So what we are seeing is the government taking a personal interest in businesses that are not the most competitive, and that is going to put us behind in the long run.
Well, there's a plus and minus to this, I guess, and you brought it up that we don't necessarily want foreign entities coming into this country and buying big corporations that can direct us in a different direction that is, against the U.S. interest, okay, if you can put it any other way. So I'd rather have our own government be a part of these companies as opposed to the Chinese being a part of it because, we don't need that either. So what's the answer in your mind?
Well, first of all, I don't think the Chinese government is buying our companies. I understand in the TikTok case in particular, the Chinese government has a share similar to the one we have in U.S. Steel. But as for the purchase of U.S. Steel, that was by an independent Japanese company. It's a similar thing with Intel. It is a competitive business. There are other American businesses, but it's a competitive business that is losing. And the solution is not for the U.S. government to interfere with that. The solution is to give consumers and give our government the chance to purchase at the lowest prices in the most efficient ways possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like 90% on board with what you're talking about, but I would rather, have our own folks involved, if they're going to be involved, than foreign entities. That's for sure, especially, the ones that are a bit scary out there.
Yes, absolutely. And especially in the case of TikTok, there's certainly a value to being wary of Chinese influence, especially with all of our data in the app. But it's just a fact that the solution is not our government taking control of other related independent companies.
Huge conflict of interest. But, we got to keep an eye on our adversaries out there, especially buying up all this land around our military bases in our own country. All right, that's another discussion. Brayden Myers, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Nice job.